your mind something that you're irrationally afraid of. Just take a moment, picture it. What is it? Is it a spider with 8 hairy legs underneath your bed? Is it a clown with a painted face dancing around you? Or is it the wind blowing around you as you stare down an 80-foot drop? A rattlesnake shaking its tail before a deadly strike? Your mother-in-law on your caller ID? Or maybe, just maybe, teenagers. Boo! Hi, I'm Eva Robinson. I'm a 17-year-old musher, a dog sled racer. That means I have to face things that are very scary on a regular basis, like the risk of losing my team in the barren wilderness and something happening to them because I wasn't there to help. Getting lost on the wrong trail and completely throwing my team off course. Wild moose, reckless snow machine drivers. These can take the lives of my dogs. Yet my parents are more worried about me driving a car than hundreds of miles and hours alone in Alaska. Come on. But what am I afraid of, really? What am I afraid of? Open water. Now, I grew up on a state park. There's a lake and a river right outside my back door growing up, so I have no reason to be afraid of it. No traumatic memories, nothing bad, only good memories from this place. So I have no reason to be afraid, right? Wrong. I am afraid. I choke up. Forget fight or flight, I just freeze. The nice thing about mushing is that everything is frozen. So imagine this with me now. Darkness all around you, you have no cell phone service, and you're completely alone. Sounds like the 80s. Sorry. Guess I can't talk about the 80s. Goodness. They're coming back to get me. All right, let's get back to it. Darkness all around you, no cell phone service, completely alone. You've been on your feet and running for the last 9 hours now, but you know you only have about an hour left until you reach a checkpoint and you can rest, or so you hope. The snow trail that you're on is only accessible by plane, snow machine, snowmobile, or another dog sled team. And the closest person to you is miles away. The temperature has dropped to -8 degrees as a cold wind rushes at your face, sticking snowflakes to your skin and your eyelashes while your face mask freezes up from the moisture of your breath. The only source of light is a thin beam from a headlamp on your head overstretching 10 dogs in front of you. 10 lives that you alone are responsible for. Up ahead, there's a small but sharp hill that marks the river. Once you hit the river, it's smooth sailing. I can't see the trail beyond this hill, but if I look further to the east, I can see the trail later along on the river. I just have to get past this hill. My lead dogs go over first. I can no longer see them, but I can trust the trail to be safe all the same, for them to guide us. The next 2 dogs go, keeping that trust. The next 2 dogs go, the next 2 dogs go, and finally the last dog and I reach the peak together. And the second I reach the peak, I see it, staring right down at me. Open water. The snow trail that we're on, at the base of this river, the bank of the trail. The snow over the ice has melted, creating an overflow of water, and we were headed straight for it. The sun was going down fast, as my entire team swerved to the right on a makeshift trail that the teams before me had forged. That's a person compared to all that water. I leaned with all of my weight to the right, folding my sled in half from the force as my left foot skidded across the icy glass top surface as I tried to avoid falling into the cold and dark depths next to me. Then I looked up. My panicked breathing stopped altogether. A dog fell in. And there was nothing I could do. I was paralyzed in my own fear. Thankfully, the dog I had in lead at the time didn't need me. Scruff. She knows what to do whether or not I'm prepared for it. She and I have had our ups and downs with trust over the years because of how headstrong she is. It's her way or the highway. But she was in complete control of the team at that moment. She didn't look back. She kept pulling forward, pushing her leader partner to the side in a split-second thought to keep us out of danger. And her efforts pulled the dog that fell in right back onto the trail without missing a beat. And that dog just shook it off like it was nothing. If only I could have been so carefree. Because while I was stuck in my own head, gripping the handlebars so tightly that I lost feeling in my fingers, Scruff navigated us to the checkpoint without a single word or command from me. She kept her cool and the entire team was confident while I was not. Now that story is just a taste of what it's like to be a musher and to have an unspoken relationship with your team. But why did I tell you that story? To show you that everyone has a weakness. From public speaking to being quick to anger, everyone has a weakness. My own fear of water limits me inside my own anxiousness and can hinder the team. Therefore, it is my weakness. Everyone has a weakness. It's how we work around them and through them that matters. It can be as easy as a change of environment. You see, I have a dog. Her name is Frost, and she's the most trusting dog I've ever met, the smartest too. But she did not start out like that. When I first got Frost, she was labeled useless by her previous owners. She's never trying, always quitting, never pulling. She's a sister to a dog I already had at that time, so naturally I wanted to reunite the two when I got the opportunity to do so. So when that opportunity came, I took it. I went to go and meet her, to take her home. And when I got there, her owners were trying almost desperately to get me to take any other dog. Not because they wanted her for themselves, but because they thought I was wasting my time on her. No, they said, don't take that dog, take this one instead. And I said, no, I want that dog. I gave that dog a chance, and she became my best command lead dog, the best dog on my team, and my best friend. Now, a change of environment is one thing. Acceptance is an entirely other thing. The first time I took Frost on a run with the other dogs, I noticed that she was scared of the sound the sled was making against the snow. I'd never seen that in a sled dog before, so I decided to move her further up the line, away from the sled, hoping that would calm some of her anxiety. And it did. We clicked instantly. It wasn't long before she was doing anything that I asked, and I knew I could trust her. She became a leader I could put my life on. I remember 3 years ago, I was training on one of our typical routes. Frost was leading, and we both knew the trail so well. The only problem with this particular run is that the plow would come along, completely pushing all of the snow to the sides of the trail, creating huge snowbanks that I could just barely see over. The dogs had no chance of looking. So I stopped the team when I realized our turnoff is completely sealed away. We can no longer go further down the trail. Stop the team. I'd have to turn around. I'd have to get a snow machine and come back later to break it up alone. That's when Frost looked back at me. She didn't know where to go. We usually turn here, but now we can't turn here. The trail's gone. And I looked back at the trail itself. If I looked over the snowbank, I could see it was still intact on the other side, and I decided, let's just have some fun. Let's just see if she does it. Let's just go for it. I called the command. That's all. G. I'm getting the commands wrong on the spot here. G. She didn't hesitate a second before jumping into this wall of snow to guide the team, even though she had no chance. She had no chance of knowing what lay before her on the other side. She trusted me, and she trusted me to know that I would never let her do anything that I thought was too dangerous. So even when she couldn't see it herself, she trusted me. And it was in that moment I knew she would do anything that I asked of her. We could go anywhere. The key to Frost in my relationship is that I saw her weakness, not liking the loud sound the sled can make against the snow, and I recognized it. I wasn't going to let her weakness define her when her strengths are made for something different. To turn a weakness into a strength, you have to recognize the weakness, then reward the strength. I have so many dogs that are living proof of this philosophy, dogs that are outstanding in one position, but completely lost and uncomfortable in another. Not everyone can be the star dog, just like not everyone can be the manager or the presenter. That's teamwork. You have to acknowledge this in order to see the strengths of yourself and those around you. A dog that's a good example of this to me is Honor. Now, Honor is a dog that from a puppy, I knew he would never be a lead dog. He's a wheel dog. His job is to be the absolute backbone of the team. His role is to keep the sled upright, no matter what. So even if everyone else stops pulling, he'll continue on. He's not a leader because he's not exactly the smartest guy out there. Sorry, buddy. And he's kind of scared of everything. Sorry, buddy. It's just true. I'm just playing it for what it is. But he'll never leave a task until it's finished. He's a dog that from a puppy showed me no matter how high the hill or how far the trail, he would never give up. Now, you can't be anyone aside from yourself. It doesn't matter if you prefer to work behind the scenes or hold center stage. as long as you play into what you can do best for your friends, your family, your coworkers, and for yourself, but not just for yourself. Of course, I have another dog that's a great example of this. All I do is talk about dogs. Her name is Hope. Now, Hope can be a lead dog. She can, I know she can, but her strengths are made for something else. She's best when she's in the middle of the lineup as the heart of the team. Her job is to keep the morale up for everyone else as the miles start to draw on, and she does this by yipping and playing as much as she can. One dog can spark new life into the hearts of 9 others around her. That's her strength. And her strength is felt by everyone, including me. We have to work together to make our goals meet. I've competed in 160-mile races with these dogs because I was able to lean on them, even when I didn't think I would be able to finish. So let me ask you, who can you lean on? And who can lean on you? When my own fears and anxiousness start to creep up on me, when I do run the full 1,000-mile Iditarod, and I have to cross over glare sea ice, I'll have my dogs keep me grounded. Who do you have to keep you grounded? And who can you help ground? The entire reason that I'm able to be up here and speak with you all today is because I was able to lean on someone else. I spent 10 years working and dreaming towards my goal of competing in the Junior Iditarod in 2022. 10 years of giving up time with my friends for this goal. 10 years of training my dogs and myself. You'd think after 10 years I'd be pretty much prepared for anything, right? Yeah, me too. Turns out when I got there, I wasn't prepared for the hardest moment of my entire career. I didn't have a single dog that wanted to lead. I kept switching leaders, but no one would put forth a foot to do as I asked. No one would take a step forward. So I sat on that trail for a long time, knelt before Frost, placing our foreheads together as we usually do. As I cried, I prayed, and I felt defeat. After 10 years of trying to get to the start line, we would never make it to the finish line. That's when a thought came to my mind. What if another musher comes along and you're just sitting here crying? So teenage embarrassment got the best of me, and I picked myself up, I pulled myself together, and I looked at Frost one more time. I didn't have a single dog that wanted to lead, but she would. She always would. Frost pulled and led alone in these scary and unfamiliar mountains of Alaska as I asked for 10 hours until we made it to the finish line. And for her outstanding efforts and her outstanding performance, she was awarded the highest honor that a dog can receive, the Blue Harness, at the Junior Iditarod, recognized globally. From junk dog, the most important dog of the Junior Iditarod race, all because I gave her a chance 5 years before that day. So let me ask you again. Who can you give a chance to? Who can you turn to when you need a hand? And who can you give a hand to when someone else needs it? I want you to leave here knowing that your dreams are achievable. You just can't do it alone. So look around you every day at your friends, your family, your coworkers, and even strangers on your drive home. What is their strength? Your strength. What is their weakness? Your weakness. So no matter if you like to be like Frost or Scruff, or would rather be Hope and Honor, you can do it, as long as you simply give yourself a chance to try or try again. My dogs are never afraid to try because I will never let them fail. Are you Frost? Loyal to a fault and always putting your family above yourself? Are you Scruff? Confident in your workplace because you know what needs to be done to improve the efficiency and work ethic of those around you? Are you Honor? The person anyone turns to in a pinch because they know you'll put in the extra hours, even if you don't want to get the job done. Not just to get it done, but to get it done right. Or are you Hope? The friend that anyone calls at any time to laugh, to talk, to cry with, because you love to lift others up. Whatever role suits you, lean into it, because it's important, no matter how big or small. Recognize your weakness and highlight your strength to do just that. So thank you, everyone. And as you listen to all these other amazing speakers today, I just want you to remember, any dream is achievable if you simply gave yourself a chance to try, to dream big, to stay humble, and to never quit. Because North Dakota never quits.